For hole 4, I really believe that it's an offset issue that we're having, is why we're missing. You're going to do full left spin, 1 backspin still, but the offset, I'm not going to worry about the second bounce like before, and I'm just going to go with an offset. So the lower the wind, the less offset that you need. The higher the wind, the more offset. I have made this shot with a 6.2 mile an hour wind, and I had offset to the left or to the right of the cup. So I really believe it's an offset, and I do believe it's still a 1 ring push-up. So I adjust 1 to 1 with a 1 ring push-up after your adjustment, and based on the wind is going to be your offset. So the higher the wind, the more offset that you are going to do. 1 to 1 meaning 1 wind per ring. So my wind was 5.2, I pulled 5.2 rings. For hole 7, I am basically laying up on this shot to get into a min sniper type range. So I'm only going to be doing 2 top spin instead of the 3 I did previously. So full left spin, 2 top spin, your red touching the rough on the left, and then you're going to adjust for a 10% over adjustment at maximum distance of your club. You're going to give it a little bit of baby curl as well. I know at yardage 331 that my sniper plays at a 20% slider, so based on the 323 yardage I can go off of that. 331 minus 323 is 8. 8 times 2.5, which is a sniper's per yardage range, is 20, and then 20 plus 20 is 40. So I played this at 40% slider at a minus 10% elevation. You can see I move it around in a little big chunk until I found that little sticky spot. Once I found it, I then spun my ball going to the hole. So I'm offsetting to the left of pin as much as I could tell. It's kind of hard, but you want to do about 1.5 backspin and then however much side spin it takes to get you aiming at the hole. Once you do that, then I like to push my rings back because I feel that it's actually a better adjustment doing it that way. And then you're going to try to hit perfect. So again, I'm playing this at a minus 10% elevation, and I'm basing my slider percentage off of 331. So here's another shot where I'm laying up, and this time with an APOC 6. I'm still only going to do max left spin with 2 top spin, and then I'm going to have my red ring touching the rough on the left inside that curvature. I'm going to adjust for max distance with a plus 10% over adjustment, and then I'm going to do slight baby left curl. So knowing that my yardage that I'm looking for is 331, here I hit 328. I took 331 minus 328, which gave me 3. I multiplied that by 2.5, which gave me 7.5, and then I added it to the 20% slider. So I played this at 27.5% slider, which I rounded it up to 28. So I played this at 28% slider with a minus 10% elevation. I find the sticky spot, and then I spin my ball with about 1.5 backspin, and I want to leave it just short of the hole and to the hole as much as I possibly can. So here I adjusted with a minus 10% elevation at 28% slider. The one major change that I made was hole 8. I abandoned the Guardian shot. We are now going to play Damien's sniper shot, the rough bump shot. His link can be found in the description below, and I highly suggest that you check him out. I'm going to do max left spin with 0.8 top spin. My red ring at the top is going to be half into the rough and the fringe, and the red ring on the bottom is going to be slightly dipping into the sand bunker. Your ball guide is going to be missing the cup on the bottom side, so it's not going to be missing by much, but it's going to be pretty much an offset to the bottom of the cup. I am then going to adjust my shot with a 1-to-1 -1 adjustment. So my adjustment here was 4.7. So my wind was 5.7. I adjusted for 4.7 by doing 1-to-1 -1 ring. Now here I believe I didn't do enough topspin, so you really got to make sure your topspin is correct, because if you don't do enough topspin, it will basically just sneak in on the bottom side of the hole. So here again, I'm doing max left spin with, I needed to do more topspin than I did. I still was getting the hang of the shot. Half the red ring up into the fringe and the rough line, and my bottom red ring is going to be slowly dipping into the sand bunker, and then my ball guide will be missing at the bottom of the cup. I'm then going to adjust my rings at 1-to-1 -1. So 5.4 here, I adjusted for 4.4. Now the kicker on this hole is if you get a wind that's about 6.2, you won't be able to make this shot, and you will either have to reduce the wind or switch to a katana and play it the same way. If you switch to a power 2 ball, you won't have to worry about going into the Guardian range, and I probably suggest that you put in a Grizzly to give you a little bit more room to adjust. So just know that if your wind is around 6.2, you might have to switch to a katana ball. So again, you're going to do max left spin with 0.8 top spin. Your half of your red ring is going to be cutting the rough and the fringe, and then the bottom of your red ring is going to be slightly dipping into the sand. Your ball guide will be offset to the bottom of the hole. You will then adjust 1-to-1 -1. So here my wind was 5.4. I adjusted for 4.4 rings. So again, it's 1-to-1 -1. So again, you're going to do max left spin with 0.8 top spin. You will then have half of your top of your red ring or side of your red ring cutting the rough, and then the bottom of your red ring just barely dipping into the sand bunker. Your ball guide will be offset to the bottom of the cup. You will then adjust 1-to-1 -1. So here my wind was 4.8. I adjusted for 3.8. And remember guys, hit perfect. Happy golfing guys, and good luck this weekend.